Hi, it's Mrs. Washburn. Today we are working on a lesson in Google Sheets. That is the software that's used to do spreadsheets, and it can do some math for us. It's a pretty cool program, and it's really different from Docs or from Slides in that the way that it's set up and the reasons why we use it. So we are going to just start with the basics and learn how to use it in the simplest way possible and keep building on it. So your job today is to fill in a chart over here with the data that I've given you. So you're moving things from one place to another and making it arranged in a way that the computer can do something with it. And in the next lesson, we will make a graph out of the data in our chart. So you'll see the purpose of this. So I have two different sets of data set 1 and 2. The first one is all about our favorite colors, and then the second one is about our types of pets. So one thing about Google Sheets that you have to know is that you can type into these little cells. So when I click my mouse around, it highlights with this blue box into different cells. And when you type into them, it will only fill up that cell. Now, up here with the title, I put our favorite colors, and it went out of that one cell. But if I click, so we can do a little bit of graphing here, this cell would be called A1 because it's column A and it's row 1. If I click into B1, there are no words in that one. So let me show you what I mean. Up here, this is the line that shows whatever is in that cell or that box. So here we can see it says our favorite colors. This one says color. This one says number. But if I click into B1, there's nothing up there because all of that text is in A1. It just went outside of that box, but it didn't actually go into B1 at all. It just took up that space. So it can be a little bit confusing if it looks like your text is in a different box or a different cell to find it. So for example, if I wanted to change something, maybe I made a typo and I thought like that I'd be clicking on the word colors in this cell, it's not helpful. Instead, you have to click into this one and you have to double click if you want to type again. Otherwise, it just gets rid of it. Or you can come up here and type, like the cursor will be there so you can see. So that's an important thing to know about Google Sheets with how you move around it. So now we're going to focus on moving the data. So our data is in sentences. So this one says 7 students like red, 3 students like orange, and so on with some other colors. So what we have to do is break this from sentences down into just data. So for example, along the colors column, I'm going to type in the colors in the order that I see them over here. So the first color was red. And now I can either use my arrow key or I can move my mouse down and click in the next cell to type the next one. So now I'm going to use my arrow key and you can see that it just goes down like that. So I'm just typing, like it says red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So I'm adding the data in that I have over there. But now it's not in sentence format, it's in actual data format. There's one per cell, which is good. So now you have to look at the numbers. So 7 students liked red, so I'm going to type the number 7 in this box. 3 students liked orange. 1 student likes yellow, 6 students like green, 7 students like blue, and 5 students like purple. So now all of that data is split up into 2 columns, one for color and one for number. We would be able to answer some questions based on this data. So let's say that you see a chart like this on a math test, and it asks, how many students liked orange and green? We would be able to add up the numbers for orange and green and decide that 3 plus 6 is 9. So 9 students like orange and green. Or other questions like that. You get the idea. Okay, so down here now we go to our types of pets. And again, we have data in sentence form, but we need to get it into columns so that we can do something with it, which we'll be making graphs next time. So the type of pet, we have fish, dogs, cats, rabbits, and hamsters. This is going to be really good typing practice for you today too. And don't worry about it that was a smaller size, but if you know how to make it bigger like the rest of them, I think that they're size 18. Yeah, that looks right. You can make it bigger if you want, but that one just automatically was smaller. Anyway, now we have to put the numbers in for our data. So we had 4 students had fish in the class, 9 students have dogs, 11 students have cats, 2 students have rabbits, and 3 students have hamsters. And just because that bugs my brain, I'm going to make that bigger. Okay, so now we have that data also in our chart. That is your whole assignment for today, is to type in the colors and the pets and fill in the numbers. Once you are done with that, then you are done with this assignment. You may go ahead and get started.